Hey guys, so in this video, it's been a while since I made videos like this, but look at this. This is a little bit of a gameplay from Star Wars Outlaws, the latest and greatest, one of the, most demanding AAA titles that will be coming out like this year, this month, next month. So here's a little bit of the gameplay. I'm going to show you guys how you can build this sub $500, guys. I repeat, sub $500, which is, in my opinion, more or less affordable, right? You're going to be able to get gameplay like you see here, decent and very, very good FPS. And so let's get to it. I'm going to show you how I picked these parts. I have the parts selected, so I'm really excited to show you how you can build a system that's going to give you good graphics, just like what we see here. So look at that. This is an awesome game. I'm excited to play it myself. I may actually buy these parts for myself. At the end of the video, I'll provide you guys all the links if you guys want to build it yourself. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what this is all about. Look how cool this game is going to be. So first things first, I like going to a website called Can You Run It? So they give us the minimum specs, the recommended specs. So in my opinion, you never want to go too cheap, but you don't want to go too high. So I'm going to pick the middle ground, and I'm going to show you two of my sites that I've shown you before. This is the Tech Power Up website that talks about the strength, relative performance of GPUs, and this is another one called Passmark Software. This is geared towards processors. So let's look at here. So here the minimum is that you need a 536. So if I already did a little bit of the legwork, but you can see the Ryzen 536 gives you a Passmark score of 17,752. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the high-end requirement, which is the Ryzen 5. And if we look at the Ryzen 5 on this one, I think it is actually 21,000. Actually 22,000 is the CPU score here. So what I ended up doing is picking, believe it or not, probably not what you would find in a typical gaming, but I can't find it here, but I do have it right here for you. It's this guy here. This guy here. If we search for this guy here in that list, you're going to see that it falls between that range. So that's how I know automatically that this is going to be a decent or very good CPU. Oh, there it is. You see? It's 20,000 CPU score versus the 22,000 is the recommended, and then over here we have the 17,000 that I showed you over here. So I just showed you how to pick a CPU somewhere in the middle. And guess what? This CPU only costs, it's used as a server Xeon Intel CPU, but you can only pay $73, guys. Normally, nowadays, if you get a CPU, you're gonna if you want to play big games and stuff like that, you have to pay like $400, $300, $250 just for the CPU alone. So this is if you can pick used parts, this is going to be a great option for you. The next thing that I took a look at was the video card. So I went with a 1660, and I don't recommend going with the high end. I picked a CPU somewhere in the middle of this, and I think the CPU that I ended up picking was see, this is the 1660 over here, and we mashed that up with the RTX. So this is the RTX 3060 has 157% relative to the 1660. So I picked up a graphics card, the RTX 2060, which is in between. It's 136%. So you're going to be somewhere in the middle, and it's going to give you that great bang for your buck. So I ended up going to AliExpress. You're going to pay $208 for this. And those are the two most important components when you get a gaming PC. The CPU and the GPU. That's what's going to give you the highest possible FPS. And again, I told you guys I'm going for the middle ground. So without further ado, again, these are the sites. I just showed you guys how I picked that. I used this site to help me pick as a starting point, and then I used these two sites. I showed you a little bit of the gameplay of what you can expect. Look how cool that game is going to be, man. I'm really excited for it. But okay, so without further ado, this is the CPU we're going to go with. It's a Xeon E5 2673 version 4. It's used, but that's amazing price because it's great. It's great. So now motherboards, you can spend $400, $300 on a motherboard, but hey, I've dealt with Chinese motherboards from AliExpress, and they're very reliable from my experience. I built a lot of my clients' computers off of this, and they've never had any complaint. I personally have a main rig that uses a Chinese motherboard. So look at this. For 27 bucks, you're going to get this motherboard. So you're going to be able to fit the CPU inside the socket of this motherboard. And with that, we're going to look at the RAM. This uses DDR4. I recommend 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's what the game says here. It says RAM 16 gigabytes for the minimum and also for the recommended, so we're covered there. Next part is the cooling system. So we need to find a way to cool down the CPU because it is a server and we need a good way. So I recommend this one. I think I personally bought this myself in the past, $28. Next thing we're going to do is, hey guys, having eye candy, having like a kick-ass gaming rig case, that's not going to give you more FPS. So again, I'm going to go a little bit on the cheap side. So this is just 40 bucks. I don't care about the case. You may care. If you want to spend $500 on a case, go ahead and do that. If you can spend $500 on a case, you know, you should be buying high-end computer stuff. But anyway, I'm just showing you the importance of what really matters here. So the case, 40 bucks, that's good enough. It's gonna hold our components perfectly fine. Again, here is the graphics card from AliExpress. $208, really good deal in my opinion. Actually, this is a 2016 Super. It's actually better than what I told you, the 2060. So look at that. I'm giving you big bang for your buck. Power supply, we're going to go with $46, 600 watts. You're going to be able to upgrade this system in the future. This is more than enough power to power this. And last but not least, we're going to get a half a terabyte of SSD, and that's your components, guys. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts that you need to build. And the grand total is all this money here, as you can see, I summed it up, is going to be less than $500, and that's the total price that you pay if you decide to build this yourself. Again, $486 for a mid-range computer that's going to easily be able to play this up-and-coming title from Star Wars Outlaws. I think you can't really beat this. This is going to be an amazing game. Again, sub $500, you're going to be able to play this and other games at this level. So that's it for this video. Let me know if this was useful for you. Sorry I went a little bit long, but I want to show you guys how I pick the parts and how it makes sense to build a computer yourself. Picking the parts somewhere in the middle, not too expensive, not too low, but you're going to get wonderful FPS. I'm looking forward to doing a gameplay for you guys with the actual FPS numbers. I'm excited for this. Again, you can't beat that. Again, the point is this right here, $486. It's going to let you play the latest and greatest AAA title. I think this is amazing if you pick the right parts. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. And let me know if you like this, and I'll see you. Bye. Consider subscribing, liking, leaving me a comment, and thank you so much. Let me know if this is useful for you. See you guys. Be blessed, and God bless you. Bye-bye.